Right, video 4. Right, so this I've 4 for the day. Right, people keep saying to me, who's your top 15 promoters in world boxing? Top 15 world promoters in boxing. Well, I think a lot of it's got to do with the fighters that you've got, in my opinion. Some promoters can only do as good with what they've got. Now, a lot of promoters kiss people's backsides, a lot of promoters don't. They have their backsides kissed. Some promoters are stubborn, some get treated poorly, and some are just not at the races, in my opinion. There's a few of them. And some have passed the sell-by date, some are too big for the boots, some are getting a bit cocky, some have had it given them. We know whose dads have given promotional businesses, don't they, and put it on the lap. But it is what it is, isn't it? But I'm just going to give you a top 15 of them. All these here have all had world champions and have all been at top of the game at some point. Some are doing great now, others are restructuring. So I'm just going to give you where I put these at the moment, looking at the stables and where they are and what ideas they've got planned. It might not tally with everybody else, but I'm just going to give you roll some names off for you now. 15th, I'd have to have him as 15th because he's relaunching Fight Academy and he's got some backers on board and there's a couple of things bubbling, as he says it, and I'd have to put him in there for his general experience being a promoter over 20 years. Dennis Hobson, I'd have him at 15. People can say, oh, you can't have Dennis at 15, he's your mate. Well, me and Dennis have a love-hate relationship. 1 minute we like each other, next minute we don't. 1 minute we have a scuffle, next minute we don't. Because I'm not one of them yes people, I'm prepared to say it as it is. But I'd have to have him on top 15, otherwise he'd tell me off. But I don't think he's at the top of his game, he's regrouping. But don't count him out, he's got a TV deal, hasn't he? And some promoters who are good, or maybe doing better, they haven't got TV deals. So I'd have Dennis at 15. At 14 I'd have Universal, for the simple reason that they're big going years. They're German based. 13 I'd have Don King. I know he's on the slide, but he's still got a few on his books and he's always pulling something out of the hat with WBC. You'd never count Don King out, would you? I mean, he's been doing this game 44 years. So don't ever count Don King out. He's been at it 40 odd year and he knows what he's on with. I think he's been at it since 71, and maybe more. He did a charity thing, didn't he, with Ali in 1971. He's been at it ever since then. I got to meet his right hand man in Bulgaria, a guy called Don Majeski. If you want to Google him, he don't work with Don now, but he did for years. Don Majeski, a nice guy, and I wish Dom all the best, and I wish Don King all the best. So I've got a soft spot for Don King, so I think I'm even going to put on the cover picture for this video, me and Don Majeski. He's an American guy from New York. I went out to dinner with him, me, Mick Hennessy, Dennis and him, and a nice guy, so I wish him all the best. But I'd have Don King at number 13. At number 12, in my opinion, I'd have David A. He's making a bit of noise, isn't he? He's had a TV deal, has he, with Dave, and he's got other things going. He's putting in joint shows on with Eddie Hearn, working closely with them. To say David A was supposed to not like Eddie Hearn, I think it's all rubbish. I've been told he rings him every day, and from what I've heard, and I thought this were quite funny actually, I've heard David A's a bit of a kiss arse. So, but that's boxing for you, innit? You know what I mean? David A, they call him cost cutter, don't they? He came back, got £1 million a fight he fought 2 crap fights, didn't he, on Dave channel. He then took Sky for millions. This is all about 4 or 5 years after Sky said they'd never work with him again. So don't ever count David A out. He does get it promotion wise, but he's also a whore, isn't he? It's my opinion. I'm not saying he's a whore as in a whore, but Davy Day will do what it takes to get a pound note. So, but that's just boxing, isn't it? It's easy for me to be critical. Some of the things I see is unbelievable, but Davy Day, he's got no scruples about him, old cost cutter. But I wish him all the best. I'd have Mick Hennessy at number 11. I think Mick's sort of regrouping, innit? But you know, he's great at finding talent, innit? Carl Froch turned pro with him. Chris Eubank turned pro with him. Chris Eubank Jr. Tyson Fury, Yuri Fury turned pro with him. He took Junior Witter to world titles. Took Tyson to undisputed. He won 2 WBCs with Carl Froch, and then they parted. Got him into Super 6. He was instrumental with Super 6 Mick, so he is an innovator as well. And he's got Savannah Marshall on his books as well, and she's destined to win a world title. Hewitt's British champion, he's regrouping, so you'd have Mick Hennessy in there as number 11. With all the experience he's got a deal with Channel 5, you know, so you know you'd have to count him in. Number 10 you'd have Cyclone, wouldn't you? Barry McGuigan. They've got some great fighters. He's got a top trainer. He's got a deal with Channel 5. Chantel Cameron has got on books, and there's other people on their books as well, so you'd have them at number 10. Lou DiBella, you know, he's got 50 odd fighters. He's big in New York. He's got world champions. He's been promoting since year 2000. Jermaine Taylor turned pro with him, didn't he? And a load of them American guys from Olympics. He's had court battles with Bernard Hopkins and that, and won. So I like Lou DiBella. I've got a lot of time for him. I've had a few emails off him. He's a nice guy. So I'd have Lou at number 9. Number 8 I'd have Yvonne Michael. I like him. I think he's had world champions. He's always there or thereabouts, isn't he? You know, he's had, look at fighters, great fighters he had. You know, guys that have not from Canada but based themselves out there. He's done well. He had Beterbiev, didn't he? Have John Pascal at one point. Boutte. He's a force. Kathy Doover I'd have at number 7 for the Doover family. They've had world champions. They had Holyfield back in the day. They've been going years. Pernell Whitaker, Meldrick Taylor, and Kovalev. You know, the fighters they've had is unbelievable. So you can never count them out. They've always got a TV deal as well. So they're always in the mix. Number 6 I'd have Calla Sauerland, or the Sauerlands, because they've got their force, aren't they, in Germany? They're involved with that WBSS tournament as well, aren't they? So you'd have to have them. You'd have to have Calla Sauerland involved, wouldn't you? Or their family. They were involved with Super 6. Look at the great fighters they've had. Sven Otka, Jesus, Arthur Abraham. You know, they've had other people as well, so they're always in the mix. And then you get to the what I call the top 5. Frank Warren. He's there or thereabouts, isn't he, Frank Warren? He's been at it since 70s, late 70s, Frank. He can't be discounted. You'd have Al Heyman at number 4. I think I know he's not a promoter, but he's a force, and he's got the PBC behind him. They're in the mix. So you'd have them involved at number 4. They've got great fighters. You'd have Mayweather, put Mayweather fights on for years, haven't they? Then I'd go Bob Arum at number 3. The reason I go Bob Arum at number 3 is because the experience he's got and the big deal that they've got with ESPN. I mean, I know Al Heyman's got the deal with Fox, haven't they? But Bob Arum's got a big deal with ESPN as well, so you'd have him in mix. And then you come to the last 2. Where would I go with these last 2? Well, I'd have Eddie Hearn at number 2. Now, people can say, oh, Eddie Hearn's number 1. I'd have Eddie Hearn at number 2. For a simple reason that he hasn't conquered America yet, but you could say he's the number 1 in Europe. But I'd have Eddie Hearn at number 2. We all know with Joshua's head in the stable, but who else has he really got? Who? Boats is not fighting anybody. Bellew didn't really fight anybody. He's done now, so they're saying, but he won't be, he'll be back. Dylan White's not been in a European title fight yet. Caballe's still waiting for White to fight him. But Dillian White's messing about with Chisora, isn't he? On pay-per-view. So Eddie prolonging it just tells you that he's not ready. Baby Miller's not been in a world title fight yet, but they're trying to pinch that regular belt, aren't they? Kell Brook, what's he done in a year? So who has Eddie really got? But the potential's there, isn't it, with his stable, and he's trying to make big moves with DAZN. So you could say he is making a few big moves, but I can't have him number 1. Not when you've got Canelo at number 1. You know, with Golden Boy. They're the top boys, Golden Boy at the moment, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to say you didn't put K2 on there, did you, with Tom Loeffler's lot, but Golovkin's just been beat, hasn't he? And is he going to stay with them? And Klitschko's are retired, so that's why they're not on there. I don't really know who else they've got that's any good. But and I don't even think they've got a TV deal, have they? So it's all about having TV. But as far as I'm concerned, Golden Boy are number 1. That's just how it goes. But Eddie's number 2 in world, number 1 in Europe, so he's not doing bad. As you say, he's been at it 8 years. But you know, it is what it is, isn't it? So peace out. Shout out to lads at Eco Power at Armthorpe, Dean at Maxi Muscle, Justin at the Tea Leaf Company, Jason Stewart at Ledger Frames. Alright. Keep on trucking.